Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be going along with a sort of unofficial series on this channel, I guess, at this point, which is talking about what happened to certain things in TF2s, such as like the item sets I did, I think was the first episode, and then the festive weapons, which was the second. You guys seem to really enjoy these videos whenever I make them, so I want to bring more of it to the channel for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about unusual taunts and their massive crash in price which happened a while ago. But before we get into that, if you do go on to enjoy the video, leaving it a like would be much appreciated, and if you're new around here and want to see more content from me, then also click subscribe. It helps me out a lot and lets me know that you like this type of content and encourages me to do more. So without further ado, let's talk about unusual taunts. This is definitely not a brand new topic to bring to YouTube. I am very late to the party on this, and I apologize. People like The Virtual Economist and Squirrely and all that have made videos on this already. But a couple of people were suggesting this one to me when I was asking about more what happened to video ideas. So I thought I'd join the conversation and give my opinion on it, I guess. So for those of you who don't know, unusual taunts are taunts that are unusual. Brilliant description there by me. But these taunts have their own particle effects, just like the unusual hats do. And these things used to be super rare when the new kind of wave of taunts came out and all of the taunts changed from like the regular artwork that they used to have to being orange and black or orange and grey. That is when unusual taunts first came out. This is kind of when like the Baton 1000 and stuff like that was coming out. So that gives you an idea of how long ago that this actually was. These things were insanely expensive, and as time went on, they actually held their value since they were so rare and limited. You can only get them from one crate and literally nothing else. So a lot of the taunts went up, like the really high-end ones went up a lot because nobody could get them. And generally, it was a pretty good time for whoever owned one. I didn't, but I still had fun looking at all the rich kids who had them. Yeah. So after you've heard something like that, it seems kind of weird to say that you can now buy an unusual taunt for less than 5 keys, doesn't it? Well, in October of 2016, Valve
did an oopsie.
I used the PewDiePie clip because I can't really do it as well as he can, and it sounds kind of creepy if I do it for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, October 2016 was the update that brought us brand new unusual taunt effects, which were amazing, and added unusualifiers, which granted the new effects when used on the taunt that they go with. What I thought Valve failed to think of was that after Team Fortress was over, the unusual started giving out any random effect out of all of the ones that existed already. Meaning that all of the taunts that were in the game were now able to have the first generation effects on them again. And yeah, they did that on purpose, so forget what I said about I don't think they thought it through. They did it on purpose. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there though. Valve decided that this update they were going to also double unusual chances for unboxing crates. So you have double the chance to get an unusualifier from any of these crates. That honestly cannot go wrong whatsoever, every Valve employee thought. To be fair to Valve, I feel as though there was probably no way for them to know that this would happen. Maybe they didn't know how many people would be unboxing them and saving them until after the event to see if anything happens with them. Maybe they just didn't think that many unusualifiers would be unboxed because they're meant to be rare, not many people are meant to be able to get them. I don't think they intended for this many to exist. Or maybe they did and they're just trying to mess up the TF2 economy and keep us on our toes. Who knows? I still think that they didn't do it on purpose, really, and by the time it all kind of happened and people figured out what was happening, it was a little bit too late to do anything about it. All of the taunts that used to be super limited were being received again in the hundreds, and the supply for those taunts was met, then surpassed, which basically means the price went down because everyone who wanted one could very easily find one on the market. And this just got worse as more and more taunts got unboxed, more and more updates with the ability to unbox an unusualifier came about, and more unusual taunts existing in the TF2 world. Let's just take a step back here for a second, because a lot of the crates the unusualifiers are in, you can also get a regular unusual hat out of, like the Smithmas ones from this year, for example. But the thing is, I feel like unusuals are not nearly as rare as the hats that are on these crates. Maybe they're meant to be like that, maybe they're not, maybe it's just a bug, I have no idea. But they don't feel nearly as rare as regular hats. Probably how I unboxed 2 of them in a row the other week, you should definitely check out that video. I know a lot of people think they've unboxed an unusual hat, but then they find out it's an unusual fire, and actually it's kind of disappointing to get an unusual fire instead of an unusual, because you could have got like a burning team captain, for example, or something like that, but you get an unusual fire for like a flipping awesome taunt. You use it and you get like, I don't know, the 72 effect, which is alright. You would have preferred the team captain. I mean, but it's alright. Another thing I want to say is that I've always been a massive fan of unusual taunts. I've always thought they looked amazing, and even though I was never really part of that trading scene, like the unusual taunt trading scene or whatever, I liked the taunts to keep and they were cool to look at, but I never traded with them for profit because I didn't quite know what I was doing, and I kind of thought stay away from them a little bit. They might be unstable. Nobody really knows what's going on with them just yet. So I stayed away and stuck to what I thought I knew, which was hats. So honestly, this whole crash has actually kind of worked out well for me. Yeah, I paid 75 keys for a showstopper high five, which will never go for that amount again probably, but I didn't know it was going to crash that much at a time because it just happened and it just started being really, really bad. And it happened so long ago now that the amount that I lost is pretty much irrelevant. But I have no idea how much this taunt will go for now, but I know for a fact you aren't going to get more than 50 keys for it. Ever again, probably. I don't know. Maybe you would. Maybe something's going to happen in the future that makes you make a lot of money, but not me. And not that taunt. And not now. It kind of sucks to see something like unusual taunts almost ruined like this. Obviously they can fix it by making a new set of unusual effects and not letting unusual fires grant that to people and have it in a limited crate, which would mean that that kind of wave of taunts would stay at a higher price, I guess. But I'm not an economist, I won't pretend to be, so I don't really know what effect that will have on the in-game community. If it ever happens, it won't ever happen, but, you know, there's a chance. But overall, unusual taunts crashing for me was a good thing. I managed to pick up a bunch of taunts that I really, really liked and wanted to get for a long time for less than I would pay for a Nuts and Bolts Dreadnought, also known as, you know, dirt cheap. And I think unusual taunts genuinely look so cool, so now everybody can literally spice up their loadout straight away, and an item that is really honestly amazing, and it's not breaking the bank. It's 4 keys for a pretty decent one, and you can show off in servers with that, even if you don't have an unusual taunt, not bad. I mean, obviously I don't prefer them over hats, but they are something else to have with the loadout, and I honestly really, really like them. It's why when I figured out they were crashing, I paid about 20 keys and got like 7 of them. So I was quite happy with myself. So anyway, that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. Also, let me know what you guys think about the prices of unusual taunts right now, and if it's a good thing for you or if it's a bad thing for you. I know I didn't really cover like the whole community trading side of it and how the traders who owned a lot of them have probably suffered quite a bit for that. And I do understand that, but it's not kind of my perspective to talk about. I literally just liked them now because they're cheap. But yeah, let me know in the comments either way. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you want more of a serious and probably in-depth look of this whole situation, then I will link the 2 videos I mentioned earlier below, so go and check them out. They are really, really good videos and explain it much better than I probably did. Also, if you are new around here, like I said at the start, make sure you subscribe. We gained almost 1,000 subscribers in a week, which is absolutely mental. So keeping something up like that would mean that we could potentially hit 75k at some point this year, and maybe even go higher. Also, if you enjoyed the video, obviously leave it a like, follow all my socials and stuff down below as well. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.